I don't think you understand how terrible the majority of these retro game consoles actually are. I have bought in so many of these things over the years, and while it is cool to get the new interfaces that create different experiences and do bring back different memories, most of them are complete garbage. For one specific reason, it has nothing to do with performance. Because I imagine that you want one of these things for the exact same reason that I got into all of this stuff. Childhood memories and to have fun. And because I know that that's why you want to buy these things, I just simply want to help you avoid the headache that I had to deal with personally. The first thing that I want to say here is that yes, technically, the Kinhank X5 is the best out of all of the quote-unquote plug and play consoles, and it is certainly better than the majority of them because it isn't going to be a big headache to use and it does not lag like some of the other ones. However, that really is only because of the PS2 games and the GameCube games that are on this thing. You could literally go up to your local Walmart and grab a $30 TV stick or something and throw a Super Nintendo emulator on that thing, and it is going to be perfectly fine for playing Super Nintendo games. None of these things are going to lag, including the $30 little HDMI sticks that Amazon sells. But if you're getting into this to actually enjoy the experience, those are going to be an absolute nightmare, and what I was referring to at the beginning of this video, because they are not going to be a good interface. There's going to be tons of duplicates. There's going to be multiple ROMs that aren't the actual ROM that you end up playing. There's going to be multiple ROMs that don't even work. So going back to the Kinhank X5 Pro console that I just barely referred to, that is technically the best console, but it is not going to be the same experience as having something like a 12TB Kinhank hard drive, which is what I show in the majority of my videos because that's what I use the most, man. That is what I love to use. It has RetroBat. I have finally figured out how to clean that entire drive. There's zero malware on it. There's zero viruses on it, and I did make a video helping people uninstall all of the bloatware, malware, and viruses on that. Put simply, you delete every single folder in that thing other than the RetroBat folder, because the RetroBat folder has every single emulator, every single ROM, all of the videos that play back as you're browsing, the images, the data and information on everything. And once you delete all the other folders on that hard drive, you end up with an interface that gets updated. You can actually connect this thing to the internet. You don't have to worry about worms that end up affecting everything on your entire computer, like your phone, your computer, your laptop, your TV, etc. Literally everything connected to your router. I use this 12TB hard drive on my main work PC. My Amazon account is linked to this PC. My YouTube channels are linked to this PC. My bank account, my credit card account, like everything is linked to this computer. I work from home. This is where I make my living. I would not connect that thing to my main computer if I didn't actually feel safe doing so. Before I figured all of this stuff out, which it did take me months to do this, because just scanning this drive with the Avast software, the Malwarebytes software, and then Windows Security, that takes days to do with a 12TB hard drive that has millions of files on it, literally millions of files. So anyways, I'm getting a little bit off topic here. Going back to the Kinhank X5 Pro and then the cheap little consoles. If you want a good experience and you're looking to grab something that's under $50, you really need something like a handheld. I have a $50 Anbernic handheld. It's the RG35XX Pro that I got years ago, and it doesn't have any issues. However, it does not have video playback, and in all honesty, anything below the Kinhank X5 Pro territory is not going to have that video footage. You're just going to be browsing. It's going to show you images, screenshots of the gameplay, maybe screenshots of the box art. It's going to vary. So if you're looking to get like a more premium handheld, there are companies like A&EO, but look, I get that they make some premium products, and they are much better than a lot of the other companies that are selling these things. But look, dude, they're getting into territory where it's just like they're waving a middle finger at people. They've basically become the ASUS of retro handhelds, and I love ASUS. I literally have an ASUS motherboard. I like ASUS. I have nothing against. I have their 5090 laptop. They have good products. Okay, they're premium products. I get it, but A&EO's like, I'm sure that you guys just barely saw their recent console. It's got like 128 gigabytes of RAM. It's got the new AMD AI processor. It's $5,000, bro. Who on earth is gonna buy that other than to buy it for bragging rights, when they could literally buy an RTX 5090 for $1,000 less? But anyways, so yes, AYANEO has some extremely good quality premium products, but they're getting to a point where they're going overboard with it. And I understand that it has to do with the memory, it has to do with the storage, and it has to do with the current market of everything. You know, they're a company, they're a business. They need to, you know, they can't just sell us stuff and lose money because we want affordable things. I get it, man, but like, I don't think I need to continue explaining that. So if you can find an AYANEO handheld, like an older one, they're all extremely good. And as I mentioned, man, I'm being serious, you could literally go up to Walmart and get a $30 whatever Android TV box, and you could literally install Super Nintendo. So Retro Game Corpse, he literally just made a video on this like last week. I mean, depending on when you're watching this, but it's February 10th, 2026 for me. But if you watch Retro Game Corp's channel, he just made a video showing people how to do this on a $30 TV stick from Walmart. So what you want, so let me simplify this so that I don't keep rambling my mouth. I'm extremely good at this. I just barely got back from the dentist, so I'm getting like my teeth repaired. I just barely got 6 crowns. I did them all at one time. So that's why there's no like camera footage for this video. So I do apologize if I have a little bit of a speech impediment right now. I'm getting used to talking with the crowns and everything. I still have 4 more teeth that I need to do, and that's going to be done over the next month here. Unfortunately. So when I mentioned what I mentioned at the beginning of this video, when you're getting these things, like, what are you looking for? Are you just looking for a bunch of games? Literally get the $30 HDMI stick, just point blank, because it doesn't matter, man. Like, if you're just looking to play games, the odds are a lot of the games you're looking to play aren't even going to be the actual games that you want to play. A lot of the games that you actually want to play aren't they're just going to be missing files. But the odds are, man, like 90% of the games that you want to play are going to be on those things. But the experience is going to be terrible. You're literally just going to browse through a bunch of names. Like, it's like the Miu Mini handheld that I have. I love the feel of that handheld, but you literally just browse. They're just names of the actual handhelds. I have another, it's an older Anbernic handheld when they had first got into this. Again, it's just nothing but names. It's like browsing a file on Windows without the icons. You're literally just browsing text. And I mean, if all you want to do is play games, then that's fine. But then you get into the $50 to $100 little Android boxes there, and then that's going to start showing you like screenshots and random box art and random this and random that. And again, like I said, man, $30 little HDMI stick's going to play everything up to, I want to say, about the Nintendo 64 and PS1 era. So, you know, everything is going to run perfectly fine on those. So the little Android boxes, that's when you start getting into territory of the images and box art and all of that kind of stuff. And then once you get into the Kinhank X5 Pro, that's when the footage starts coming into play, that like $300 territory. And the benefit of having that Kinhank X5 Pro is that it comes with a 4TB hard drive. So when you get that 4TB hard drive, that means that you now have a hard drive full of games. So it is just a natural human thing to start learning about and understanding things when they get these things. Like, the people that are watching this, they may be confused, they may not understand things, but the moment you do one thing, The moment like you let's say as an example, you get this Kinhank X5 Pro and you need to update the GameCube emulator like I had to do. The moment you search YouTube and look up how to do that, or you go to Google and you ask Google how to do that, and you update it, now you're literally going to learn like 4 or 5 different things just by simply updating the emulator. You're going to understand where the actual file is located. You're going to understand how to update the actual emulator. As you're browsing through the settings and updating the emulator, you're going to notice brand new things. You're going to see where you import the ROM. You know what I mean? Like, just by updating the emulator, you learn like 5 different things. And then now you have that knowledge on that. And then a year goes by and you're going to be like, okay, well, I pretty much know how to do all of this stuff. I might as well just get a mini PC, plug this little 4 terabyte hard drive into the mini PC, install RetroBat, and set up a computer like Dan did. That's literally what I did, man. That's how I started with all of this. I got these little freaking like little Android consoles that were shaped like a phone when I first got into this, and I specifically remember DuckTales, and it's not the PC game. There's like a first-person shooter. I forget the name. It starts with a C. It's super cool. Whatever. It was like a cyberpunk futurist. It's an Android game. But anyways, yeah. That was my first little retro handheld. Then I got the Anbernic handheld, and I started playing Super Mario World, and I started playing all the Sega Genesis games that I grew up with, Super Nintendo games I grew up with, Nintendo 64 games I grew up with, and then I ended up upgrading to the RG355X Pro, or whatever, the Game Boy Color looking one. And then that was an awesome one, man. It had images of everything. I was like, oh, this is actually super cool. And then I ended up getting the Kinhank X5 Pro, and down the road, I started collecting them during this Kinhank X5 Pro territory. Companies started sending them so that I could actually make videos on them. And yeah, man, like a few years later, here I am. I have like 30 different consoles, and 50% of them I hate, I don't use anymore. I guess that's not true. I don't hate them, but I just don't use them because they don't offer that same experience that the X5 Pro and then the 12 terabyte Kinhank hard drive. The problem that I had during that time period of the 12 terabyte Kinhank hard drive was getting footage for people. Like, I wasn't able to like sit down on my main computer like I am right now and actually be able to record myself playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater. These are the games I'm playing right now. I found this cool Adventure Time RPG on the PS3 that it's kind of like a Zelda clone. It's cool, man. It's a fun little game that I found. There's a couple of Nintendo Switch games that I found on that thing. They're like top-down, third-person RPG, hack and slash, hybrid RPG games that are just kind of cool and fun. And then, I started replaying all the Underground games, like Need for Speed Underground, Need for Speed Underground 2, Tony Hawk Underground, Tony Hawk Underground 2, which is by far one of the best PS2 games ever made. I love that game. It's so fun. It's just mindless stupidity. You can literally just skateboard around and mess around and everything. It's got the original Tony Hawk Pro Skater levels. It's literally where you start out in that game. It's got 16:9 support for modern TVs. So anyways, man, you can get my point. Like, I'm going to go ahead and end this now. So to summarize everything that I just barely said, if you're just looking to play games, just get one of the $30 HDMI sticks off of Amazon and just play your heart away. And then eventually you're going to do the same thing as me. You're going to want something a little bit better. And then you're going to get like a $50 Anbernic handheld, let's say, or something. Or you get like a $50 to $100 little Android box. And then you're gonna like, oh, this is actually super cool. Like, it's organized better. The interface is actually super cool. I like this experience. Then you're gonna get the Kinhank X5 Pro. Now you have that 4 terabyte hard drive. This is a cool experience. You literally watching the gameplays. You're browsing. Oh man, why? If I had saw that box art, I never would have played it. But this gameplay looks sick. Now you're starting to understand like the benefit of actually having that video playing back to actually see the literal game, other than just seeing box art, right? And now you have all of that stuff. Now you have a full library. You have all the BIOS that you need for like PS1 and all that stuff, man. Now you have that hard drive with literally you don't need to download any of it. And then you're going to like, oh, I'm just going to get a mini PC. You're going to grab that. Now you have all that stuff. You install Launchbox or some other interface that you want. And then eventually you'll do the same thing as me. You'll get that 12 terabyte Kinhei. It's the end game. There's nothing else better than that. I mean, there is the 14 terabyte one, the Parrot one that they have there on Amazon, which is literally, it's going to be the exact same thing as the 12 terabyte Kinhei hard drive that you see me in the footage, because Kinhei does have two different ones. There's like a Hyperspin one, and then there's the Techno Parrot, the Techno Parrot and the Hyperspin one. And then the one that I have did have Launchbox on it, did have Techno Parrot on it, did have Play Night on it, did have all these other folders on it. But dude, I don't care about any of that crap. I just wanted everything up. I just wanted the emulators up to the PS3 and Nintendo Switch. I don't care about any of the newer crap like PC games. So the Parrot one there on Amazon, if you're gonna do the same, at least if you want to connect it to the internet, you're literally just you're deleting everything other than the Retrobat folder. You got to find that Retrobat folder, drag and drop it to the main folder, and then delete everything else. And then when you do that, you're just run Avast or malware, because there are going to be some PS3 games in there that Avast picks up. And then you just delete all that, and then you can go ahead and do what I did and scan it again just to be safe. But after you delete all those other PS3 files, you're good to go. There's literally nothing else that will end up being flagged.